everyone, Jane here. Hope you're all doing well and thank you for watching today. We've had a bit of a busy weekend here, so I've decided to do quite a quick and simple project today using one of the tags from the little tag book I created. It's on Winsor & Newton paper, or card I should say. It's 25% cotton, and I'm starting off by using my sprays. I quite like using the sprays with tags because they can be a bit messy in my journals. Now the sprays I'm using today are from Pretty Gets Gritty, and I will, as always, list everything I use in the description box and provide links where I think they might be useful. The colours I used I will also list in the description box because I can't remember off the top of my head. So I spritz them, then spritz through a little stencil from Be Crafty, and then I turn the stencil over just to get the rest of the ink off in a sort of a reverse way. I'm now using some of my own designed stamps with Cleverprints called Make a Mark, and I'm using Archival ink, and I chose 3 colours that matched in with the 3 sprays I'd used. So although they're Archival inks, they are the distress colour range because they did bring out some different ones of that. And I think it's Evergreen, Bough, Picked Raspberry and Mermaid Lagoon, which will be quite pertinent in a minute, the Mermaid Lagoon. I realised as I was doing this that it was starting to look a bit under the sea-ish, so that might give you a, well, if you've seen the thumbnail, you'll know. So I'm building up layers. So I generally start with the lightest colour and build up to what I think will be the darker colour, and I'm just using the different stamps to sort of build up those layers. I did feel at the end that I needed a little pop of black in there. I often do this because I do like that little bit of darker contrast. So I'm adding in a bit of the black archival as well, just to create a little bit of difference. Now I've got this colouring book from Jane Davenport called Whimsical Girls. I say a colouring book, it's sort of a colouring and creating book. And I never use it as a colouring book in the sense of colouring in the book. So I recently decided, and I have got another video with this, which I will link at the end, to use the images out of the colouring book rather than try to just colour in the book, because I know I won't use it that way. I prefer to sort of take those images, cut them out, colour them in, and then use them within whatever I want to. So I'm using the Rosa Gallery watercolour paints just to do a little bit of colour mixing and to colour her in. The image had quite a lot of print on, so the colours aren't as vibrant on her tail and her hair, etc., as they would normally be because they're going over a lot of ink that's already printed there. But I wasn't worried. I just wanted to add a little bit more colour into the image just to make it look a bit prettier on the tag, really. I could have just left it, but I felt that it did need some colour. Now she wasn't sparkly enough, so I decided to get this clear overlay pen. It's like a glitteriness sort of suspended in clear ink, I guess, and it's from Spectrum Noir. And once that had dried, I went in with my Copic Acreas to add a little bit more detail back in, because where I'd put the sparkly pen over it had sort of covered some of the edges. And so I've gone in with the black and the white and the gold. So I thought she did need to be a little bit more exotic if she was going to be a mermaid. Well, she is a mermaid if she was going to be on my tag. Now with these tags, another thing that I want from these is, because they are in a tag book, is I can create a little bit more dimension than perhaps I would in an art journal. Although I do create quite a lot of dimension in my art journals, it can be a bit more tricky, obviously, because you're trying to close the book at the end of it. But with these, because they're on a book binding ring, it doesn't matter as much. So I've got these bits of die cuts. Now these were from a Pretty Gets Gritty set, and again I'll put that in the description box. They were bits that I'd already had cut from previous projects, so I just grabbed a few bits. There's like a net, a bubble, a ship's wheel, an anchor, and a little bottle. And I'm just using my Distress inks to add a little bit of colour. But a couple were on black, so I didn't want them to just be plain black. So I've got this Pebeo Gilding Wax that I'm just adding to give a little bit more interest to all of the pieces, because I thought they just needed a little bit of extra sort of goldy colour just to lift them and match them in with the theme. Then I also wanted to add some more texture, so this little bit of cheesecloth, I've got a bit of thread, and then all the die cuts. And I've taken a sentiment from the Lemon Creation sets that I've got, and I'm just now going to use my Pinflair glue gel, which is what's in this syringe. It comes in a tube, but you can put it in the syringe. The other version that you can also get is Kalau. The reason I use glue gel is because it's a bit like a silicone glue, and it gives you a bit of dimension, but it doesn't have the same smell as a silicone glue. So that's why I prefer it. So if I'm ever doing something where I want to build up layers and it gives a really good stick, but you want a bit of maneuverability still, this is a good glue that I find to use. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It all helps to promote the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you could click that subscribe button as well. And until the next time, bye bye.